central Kansas, chasing whitetails on these accessible walk-in hunting areas. Me and my buddy Mike Spitzer, and this is a challenge, a serious challenge.
Came out here with Randy. We've been wanting to do this for a couple of years.
Hunting with Mike is probably as easy, relaxing, and enjoyable of an experience as you could ask for. Mike has an eye for game. He spots things way before I do. Mike and I got here a day early, and one of the things we tried to do this morning is come and scout from afar. We saw a really nice buck here and a really nice buck about a mile from here. When you come to Kansas and you say we're going to hunt these accessible areas like walk-in hunting areas, you've got the challenge. You've got the challenge of other hunters. You've got the challenge of pressured deer. You've got the challenge of the sanctuaries off the walk-in areas that a lot of time are sanctuaries because there's no pressure, because there's better feed, or because there's bait. You can bait in Kansas. So you've got a lot of challenges when you come to Kansas and say, I'm going to hunt whitetails on a walk-in hunting area.
When you think of whitetails, you think of a few states that produce bomber bucks year after year. Kansas is one of those. A lot of the bomber bucks come off of land that is managed pretty well. Comes off of outfitted properties, private land, leased ground. But there's also 3 million acres of walk-in hunting areas.
These Kansas walk-in areas are about as easy terrain as any place we hunt. But you gotta walk a lot. If you think you're gonna find deer right next to the road in these walk-in areas, not gonna happen. We're putting on, I don't know, 7-8 miles a day, walking into the most inaccessible corner of the walk-in areas that we find. In December, it's all about the food. And in this part of Kansas, the food is winter wheat. So I spent all day today, Mike and I, driving around, looking at the walk-in hunting map and say, which one of these have winter wheat nearby? If it didn't have winter wheat or other food nearby, cross it off. The habitat here in this part of Kansas reflects like all of western Kansas, is really dry, really broken, and just sparse pockets of feed. We are focusing on the areas where down lower, there's a lot of feed. There's winter wheat, there's other crops, and that's where the deer are feeding.
We knew that the genetics being here and the ground being here, if we put in some legwork, we could be successful.
Any hunter who came and looked at this would think there are no deer here. And if it weren't for the fact that I have seen these deer with my own eyes, I would be doubting there are deer here.
The density is low, but the quality is very high.
But when they leave those small areas of feed, it's anybody's guess where they're going to, because they have the entire landscape of little broken coulees and CRP grass where they can bed for the day. So it's really hard to build a pattern around what these deer are doing. Hunting Kansas whitetail is a ton of fun. When you're restricting yourself to these walk-in hunting areas or other accessible lands, it can be frustrating because so many times the deer will just cross a little corner, or they'll be here momentarily, but then their real sanctuary is in the less pressured areas off these walk-in hunting areas.
It's our first full day of hunting.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be a good one.
We're the only whitetail hunters dumb enough to walk 3 miles to shoot a deer and then pack him out for 3 miles.
3 miles though in Kansas.
Yeah, 3 miles in Kansas is not like 3 miles in the Rockies. That's for sure.
It's part of western Kansas. Everything's open. So you have to spot the buck before they spot you and catch them moving. Once you bump them, they're gone, and they'll leave. They'll go for miles.
I think I could overdress in December, but I've got to take a layer off from the seize up here. You see plenty of deer, you see quality bucks, but I would say more often than not, the bucks you see are just moving through, or they're here but they're in high alert phase, and as quick as you can get close to them, or even near any scent, any sound, anything, they're gone.
Hey Randy, I got a buck.
Where at?
Can you see that? See that dark tree just below the horizon out there?
Yeah.
He just popped up over the ridge. He's skylining himself.
Right on the skyline?
Yeah.
It looks like there's another deer with him.
Yeah, there's a doe following him, but he's in the lead.
Well, that's a long ways over there.
That is. That's probably about a mile. But we haven't been here 5 minutes. We're already seeing deer coming out of those wheat fields.
That's reassuring.
Yep. The bucks are here, the quality's here. It's just a lot of footwork, a lot of covering ground to jump, every coulee, half-mile apart, and see what's in it. Usually you strike out, but every now and then you find one that makes it all worth it.
Let's go peek over this lip and shoot one right now.
It's a good plan.
Looks like a bad place to be the only tree in town.
He's been worked over pretty good, that's for sure.
This whole bottom side is peeled off.
Yeah, just saw it.
I broke that off this much. Can you bet that's a scrape there, dude?
Randy and I get along. We're both real relaxed. We enjoy hunting, and we hunt hard.
Well, Mike, the wind is blowing at a very good clip now, and it's starting to rain.
Great day just got better.
Mike is easygoing. Everything is just fine. He's no stress, and he's a great hunter. I'm thinking my body, my aching bones are saying start moving while you can.
I agree. I think we'll warm ourselves up if we start moving.
Mm-hmm.
Just, hunt our way back towards the truck. At least get a little closer.
Yeah.
We see what the weather brings and see if we can scare something up on the way back. Anytime you can get away from the road, put a mile or so on the ground, you can get into areas that other hunters aren't willing to walk to, and there's bucks there, there's deer there.
Well, when you said that the temperature was dropping, Mike, you weren't messing around.
I don't think the weather was either, so hopefully get the deer out moving.
I hope so. I'd rather have snow like this than that rain that was starting.
I agree.
That rain would be miserable. I did see the sunshine right at daylight this morning, Mike. Contrary to what it looks like right now, it did try to be a nice day today. Like, the forecast didn't call for snow, but we were wishing for snow. Just don't know that we wished for it this hard and this strong in the middle of the day.
It's much better than that rain that started out.
I think it'll turn out good if it ever stops. This is just how it was last time I hunted whitetails in the Midwest. Blowing so hard and so much moisture you couldn't see to shoot or film. But, oh well.
I think in this terrain it'll help out with the visibility.
Second morning, we're out here in the wind. Yesterday we got pretty much snowed out, and we'd hoped that the wind would be died down some, and we hoped the snow would still be here, but it got warm enough yesterday, late afternoon, evening, and night. Most of the snow has melted, and it's mostly crunchy now. Like you see, way out there, there's that, looks like the White Cliffs of Dover on the left. If you look to the right of that, there's some snow and then a little yucca plant.
I see it.
And there's a buck bedded right, just to the right of that yucca plant.
Just underneath the shade of it.
Actually, he's out in the sun now. But yeah, the shade of the yucca plant's right behind you. Dang it.
Great spot.
He's about I don't know, I'd guess he's 300 or 400 yards, 500 yards off the property, huh? Well, I'm gonna have to grab my pack and go for a little walk to warm up.
Sounds like a good plan.
Where to?
Let's maybe head into the wind and just kind of circle around those wheat fields.
They say there are deer here, and I believe them, but I'm just not sure where they're at. Hope we don't spend all 5 days in recon mode.
We'll catch up with them.
We got 3 days left. Well, Mike, I think this morning is going to be the morning. That's my thought. But I've said that now for how many mornings?
That's a buck. So there's 2 bucks in the doe. They both look like pretty decent bucks. The does are running back this way too, right?
Wow, I'd shoot either of those. Not even a question, I'd shoot one of them. Here comes a third buck, Mike. Right up on the bench above him. He's dropping right down in there.
That's that 5-point.
When these deer see coyotes, they say danger. They didn't know we were sitting on the north side of this fence about 500 yards away. They're watching that coyote. They get uncomfortable, they turn, all 3 of them start walking down this little gully and they get right to the fence. Mike looks at me and says, "Do you think they'll jump that fence?" I'm like, I don't know, but if they do, I'll shoot any of the 3. These 3 deer walk right up to the fence, boom, boom, boom. Within 5 seconds, the 3 deer are inaccessible to us to now being accessible. So we watch these bucks go across this bench, and the one buck in the back, he starts staggering along, just lollygagging. The other 2 go right across the skyline, and our plan was we were gonna go after those bucks as quick as they dropped off the bench. But we couldn't, because the other buck in the back is just sitting there milling around. He's got us pegged. I told Mike, I said, I would shoot that buck. He said, well, if you want to, shoot him. Well, obviously at that time, he's 500 yards away. But again, it's almost as if someone said, we need to help these hunters out. That buck starts walking a little bit towards us, and he drops down in a little cut just out in front of us, probably 500 yards. And I told Mike, if that buck gets out of view, we're gonna grab everything we have and we are gonna run out there and we're gonna get to that next lip. That would cut 150 yards off the shot. And as quick as I said that, what does the buck do? He drops down out of sight. What do you got for a range, Mike?
He's at 320 right there.
I just need to be more level. There we go.
Nice shot, Randy. He folded right up.
No way.
That was great. Nice job.
With the recoil, I didn't see what happened. Other than Mike slapping me on the back saying, holy cow, what a shot, he is dead. I pull up the binoculars and there he is, laying there. A Kansas buck, just what I'd hoped would happen. We walk up there and it's a great buck.
I don't think he's moving.
I don't think he's gonna move, but oh man, he's better than I thought he was.
Well done.
Oh man. Yeah, the one side's all broken off or something. This side is kind of stunning out a little bit. Oh, Mike. Us Montana guys have this fetish about carrying animals out on a...
Randy and I have had a great time so far together, and I think we'll capitalize and find another buck in the next day or so. So like halftime.
Halftime, yeah.
That works. There's a bomber buck out in this field.
Right here, they're gonna cross the fence.
Yep.
What do you want to do?
Let's not help them run. Let's just see
Okay.
what they do and then just go. I don't think we made them run. I think Dozer's doing crazy.
Yeah, I think you're right. When they hop that fence, they are fair game.
You know, there's not much cover, but if we crawl and get slow, they're about 550 yards right now.
Yeah.
If we can just get 250 yards knocked out of that to make it 300,
You got
330
shot.
shot,
Yeah.
we can take a good shot.
Yeah, it's not going to be we, it's going to be you. Because we don't need any more sight, any more visibility, any more noise or scent. I'm staying right here.
No pressure, right? I think I'm going to just slowly ease out, use whatever brush I have for cover, and see if I can get
to that
close.
windmill out there.
Yeah.
So my thought is, what's Mike gonna do? He's got all that brush in front of him now. From my angle, it looks like those deer are only 30 yards away.
Oh, they're standing. Doe, doe, doe. Okay, there's a buck. They're moving, they're moving. Okay, the buck's gonna fall, the buck's gonna fall. Yes! Oh. Yes. Kansas, walk-in hunting areas. He's a great buck.
That was probably the most exciting thing I've ever watched from afar. Whew. I am shaking. If he's half as big as he looked in the spotting scope, he's a Kansas bruiser. He's got some weird tine that goes forward. Look, it worked out. It worked against all odds, against all challenges. Mike got a Kansas buck that is beyond anything that I reasonably could have expected.
Look at that.
Wow.
Look at that character. Look at that buck. Oh, he's free. Look at that.
Boy, you drilled him. Yowzer, yowzer, yowzer. Look, I think he broke one off there.
Oh, you're right.
Gray old boy.
Look, he's got it here too.
Yeah, he had one there. He broke one off there. Look at that. Hey, congratulations, Mike.
Thank you.
You deserve every bit of it. I don't know. I think we got anything to grab hold of here, Mike. Oh, my goodness. Some days are diamonds, Mike. Today is about 20 karat diamonds.
Make that a nice 2.
You're rid of the one. It's not halftime anymore. Final.
OYOA did it.